Hello, everybody. Welcome to special CW broadcast for the Royal Mail engineering members. Delighted to have with us our relevant National Officer Carl Maden. How you doing, Carl?
I'm good, thanks, Chris. Evening, everyone.
Good to have you with me, mate. As always, and all the members will be looking forward to this one because we're trying as much as we possibly can. Obviously, there are really big, key, overarching messages of which we are hopeful that the vast majority of members see impact everybody, and they're going to have already voted yes. But we want to break it down into your functions and into your business units, etc. So here we are talking engineering. Carl, I've got a few few of the frequently asked questions that have come out of the comments from members over the live sessions we've been doing and the posts we've been making, etc. But before we get into that, really, I think it's probably pertinent if I give you a chance to set the scene for a few moments and just set out why you think engineering members need to vote yes and should have already voted yes, and if they haven't, they need to vote yes in this ballot.
Well, obviously, you need to vote yes if you want a future in Royal Mail engineering. They're obviously attacking everyone, every grade group that's involved in this dispute. And I know that engineering managers have been attempting to put forward that, it doesn't involve engineers. Well, it does, and it involves engineers right and centre of this dispute. Royal Mail engineering haven't been in the room, and the reason that they're not in the room is they're being evasive, and they will and have tried to tell you that this doesn't involve you because they've got no plans. Well, one thing I can tell you is the line management of Royal Mail engineering members is going to go into Royal Mail. And if that's not a big enough change, we've been here before, that doesn't work. So every single decision of your working day will be made within Royal Mail operations. So under the plant manager or the shift manager, they will become the main decision makers for how you have your day and how your day runs. They also want to attack your rotas and change the rotas that you currently work. They've considered and mentioned previously that they'd like you to go on fixed shifts or 4 on 4 off. They obviously want to remove any say that you have over your work. They've already started looking at the standard maintenance procedures and looking what they can take away. And despite, senior managers going around on the road shows, going on a road show and telling you everything is going to be all right, well, we haven't had a formal proposal yet for engineering around pay. And what we know from the situation in fleet is we can't take it for granted that the pay that the operational grades get will flow through to engineering, because fleet have been offered much less than the operational grades.
Thanks, Carl. It's a really good snapshot there where we're at. I want to pick out a few of the things that you've seen online. And I mean, I want to come back to a theme we've developed throughout this dispute right across the group, is that it's almost like Royal Mail are treating our members as if they're stupid. So, for example, they say, as you just articulated there's no plans for any change in engineering. But then they're in mail centres saying we've got a site rationalisation plan, or we're going to change the shifts of the OPGs in the mail centre. And as if the engineers in that mail centre can't join the dots and go, well, if the shifts of the OPGs change, then obviously my shift's going to change. Or if this mail centre closes, then I ain't going to be walking around an empty mail centre. I mean, people will see through this stuff, surely.
Well, I hope so, Chris, because obviously if start times are moved by 4 or 5 hours in mill centres and machines aren't running, you're not going to need the engineers on site, or you're certainly going to need less of them. But also, look, our members aren't stupid. I do think in the beginning that the engineering managers were convincing a few that this dispute wouldn't affect them and it wouldn't change. But I'm sure that, as we've gone along and the mask has slipped, so to speak, that our members have linked in and joined the dots. And I know our engineering reps have been out there and informing our members as well.
Thanks, Carl. I mean, I'm not quite over all the detail here, but I know you are, so you'll probably pick this up straight away. But I've seen quite a few engineers in the comments saying that there's plans to make them do parcel sorting and being involved in that. What would that mean?
Yeah, down at HWDC, they got the engineers actually doing parcel sorting. Obviously, that is not something that we want to happen. We think skills of engineers are best used elsewhere. And we have contacted the business and spoken to them about this. And certainly we can't allow this to become the norm in every mail centre.
No, and I think that, so you've got there, Carl, you've articulated in a really short period of time, which I think people will appreciate, the shift changes, the potential site closures, no certainty on pay, so major ticket issues, which I'm sure the vast majority of our engineering members will go, get me that ballot paper, of course I need to vote yes, and if action's called, of course we need to support it. And then on top of that, exactly the same attacks, whether it be on ill-health retirement terms, sick procedure, all the procedures that they want to change would all apply to our engineering members as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah, everything that they want to cut on the policy will flow through. But even just within engineering, if the business are saying there's no change, then why don't they come into the room and tell us that in a formal proposal, or at least give us that in writing? I've been asking for that for the last 9 months. We've had nobody come in, and despite all the meetings that we go to, I'm at every single one of them, and every time that we meet, I ask for the engineering director or a representative from engineering to get in the room, to come and have a chat, to have the proper discussion around what they want to do. And the fact that they've been conspicuous by their absence has always told me that they have got big plans to change what's going on in engineering, and have tried to pull our members into believing that there's nothing there to affect them. But trust me, it's massive.
Yeah, ask yourself, people, are you with the likes of Carl, your local reps, or are you with a company that very, very recently's leadership has just been found to be misleading Parliament? I think the answer to that. Carl, give you a moment or so, really just give your final message to our engineering moments with basically a week left to vote.
Yeah, firstly, thanks for all the support that you have given us so far. We don't take it for granted, and we know that it's difficult when we've got nothing directly to put to you. But more recently, we have got hold of the information that you are moving to be under the operations, that they are starting to attack the standard maintenance procedures. And of course, if they reduce them, then that reduces workload, which could potentially reduce headcount. There is, or the business have spoken about as well, looking at the mill centre estate. Obviously, if we get less mill centres, there'd be less engineers. And the only way of securing a proper deal that is fit for you, that is good for you, is to get behind the union, get your vote out, vote yes, and give us the ammunition to go into the room and get a proper agreement.
Thank you, Carl. Absolutely spot on, mate. Thank you for giving up your time. Even more important than Carl, thank you to all the engineering members and wider membership who have come on. Let's get the vote out.